I'm devastated. Devastated. Let's get into this review. But despite my heartbreak, I really enjoyed this episode. This was seriously the best episode for me this season. I love the action. I love just the merry band of misfits that formed to go get the White Walker or whatever. And I really love the fact that we got to see Daenerys, Khaleesi, you know, the mother of dragons, the warrior queen with the heart that we all love. She wasn't my favorite character for a while when she became obsessed with the bending of the knee, but this episode I felt like I got my girl back. I felt like she came back to who she used to be, at least for me, and I really love seeing that. I love seeing her. I love seeing Dany's heart. I think that's the best thing about her. When she was giving me them Cersei vibes, I couldn't rock with her, but now our girl is back through heartbreak. But at least we got her back. And to the people who are like really getting upset because this episode wasn't accurate and there were so many inaccuracies, like it was a total uproar on Twitter and on YouTube about the episode being inaccurate. And I'm like, you're really getting held up on the fact that Khaleesi got to Jon Snow in a short period of time that didn't make sense to you. But you're not getting caught up in the fact that she got to Jon Snow by flying on a dragon. Like, it's a show where there are dragons who breathe fire, where there are people who die and come back to life, where there are freaking zombies who are like killing people, and you're caught up on the fact that it just didn't make sense for her to get there in such a quick amount of time. Dude, come on, y'all. Like, really? So this episode goes back and forth between Winterfell and the men beyond the wall. Back at Winterfell, Arya and Sansa are having like this weird kind of tension because Arya's my girl and I love her, but I could not agree with her fully on this episode because I feel like she is assuming things about Sansa, but because she's like this woman without the face now, she's not talking to her and getting the information. Like, she's not having a conversation with her, she's just assuming things. And I feel like she's in this weird space that Bran is in. Like, Bran is like so fake deep now that he's the three-eyed raven. Arya is so like, you know, G.I. Jane, like super warrior, now that she has spent some time with the men, with the dude without a face or whatever. And I just feel like that is getting in the way of her being able to really have a relationship with her sister, because Arya is still upset with Sansa because she feels like she sat there and watched her father get his head cut off, right? And she has some issues with her as well because she thinks that she's trying to take the throne from Jon Snow. That I agree with. However, I do feel like that Arya is not giving Sansa a chance to explain herself, because she has this idea of what she did, and it's really, for me, it's really sad because I was so happy for those two to reunite, and then to see them so quickly be at odds. I don't know, it's just heartbreaking. Arya is sneaking around Winterfell. She's watching Littlefinger and just the things that he's doing, because neither Arya nor Sansa trust him. So she's following him, and she goes to his room where he locked some document in there. And she's like searching his place, and she finds the letter that Sansa sent to Winterfell when she was being held captive by Joffrey. And she confronts Sansa about it. But the thing about it is they're both being played. Arya confronts Sansa about it, but she doesn't let her explain. Like I said before, she blames her for the death of their father. I kind of agree. But what Arya doesn't know is that Sansa was being held captive. All Arya sees is when she was watching Sansa sit there as her father got his head cut off, but she didn't know what happened. And Sansa is trying to explain, and Arya is just like, I'm the faceless woman now. And also, it appears to me that she's getting played by Littlefinger. And I think the both of them are playing into just what he wants. I think what Littlefinger wants is for there to be infighting in the family. I think he wants Sansa to go after Jon Snow, and I think he wants Arya to go after Sansa, and so he can go after Arya because he thinks that she's the weakest. Little does he know. And I think that Arya is being played by him because, listen, I told you before, Sansa's not my favorite character, but I had to stand with her because Arya is not trying to listen to her, and Sansa is trying to explain. But because Arya knows that she has this desire to be the queen of the North, like, that's throwing Sansa off a bit because she's not being truthful in that aspect. But what she's being truthful about, Arya can't see or hear that because her body language is so different, because she's trying to hide the fact that she wants to, you know, basically take the throne from Jon. And so while Arya is going in on Sansa for not saving their father, Sansa is looking at Arya. She's just like, if you were there, why didn't you save him either? And Arya's like, I was a kid. And Sansa was like, well, so the hell was I. And I I agree with the both of them. So, oh gosh, I just hope that they both realize that they're being played by Littlefinger and that they both wake up and figure out what he's doing before he takes the Northern Throne from them. So now they have like this weird relationship because it's clearly obvious that Sansa wants to take, you know, the throne from Jon. It's even showed when, you know, the council is upset that Jon has not returned. So they try to make Sansa the queen, but Sansa shuts it down because I think she loves Jon. I really, really do. But I think that because Jon is the bastard son, she feels like she's the rightful heir. And she also admires Cersei. So she's going through like this I want to be Cersei phase now. And it's eating at her that she is not leading these people because she feels like she can do it better and that the throne is rightfully hers. And Arya sees that. So now they're just in this weird place. And I was really hurt when Arya had the knife and was telling Sansa that she was, you know, the faceless woman and all of these things. And Sansa was afraid that her sister was going to stab her. And I'm like, guys, this is not who you are. So hurt by that. I was like, Arya, what are you doing? This is your sister. However, I am really interested to see if Sansa will go like full crown thirsty next season, because right now we see her in like this timid place, but I'm interested to see what will happen with the season finale and if she will come back like in full Cersei regalia and just like, you know, really go after Jon. Oh gosh, I really hope the House of Stark does not fall next season because it's the final season. Let's go Beyond the Wall. I really love the scenes Beyond the Wall because, like I said in my opening, I really love the merry band of misfits that was formed to go get the White Walker from Beyond the Wall. This is what happens. Jon needs to convince Daenerys that there is, you know, a threat coming from the north because Daenerys and Cersei are going at it. Like they are ready to destroy each other. And Jon is trying to get them to realize, the both of them to realize that there needs to be peace right now so all forces can join so that they could fight the Night King. But Daenerys doesn't believe him. So he decides that he's just like, listen, let me go. Let me get you a White Walker. If I get you a White Walker and you see it, will you believe me and will you fight? And she's just like, sure, of course. So he gathers a few people who have been beyond the wall, and it's the Hound, it's Thoros, it's I forget the dude, but you know, the men of light. It's Jon, it's Captain Jorah, who wants to, he's healed now, he wants to serve her. Who else went with them? Tormund goes, and I feel like I'm forgetting one more person, but anyway, they all go to get the White Walker to bring back to Daenerys, and I just love them. I love these guys together. This was my army. This was my dream team. I love seeing them fight. I love seeing them battle. I mean, I wanted their fight scenes to go on and on and on because I was just like, seriously, guys, I was watching when they were fighting the White Walkers. I was sitting up in my living room and I was just cheering. I was like, get him, go. Like, it was the best scene ever. Let me tell you how we get there. The men are beyond the wall and they don't know if they've gotten there yet, but then all of a sudden it gets really quiet. And out of nowhere, this undead polar bear comes and he immediately goes after Thoros, Top Knot. And when he did it, I was just like, wait a minute, like what is going on here? Like it didn't really make sense to me that he would attack him when he was on the, like Thoros wasn't in his direction. Like he passed people to get to Thoros and then it finally hit me. Thoros is the one who can bring people back to life. And I'm telling y'all, the Night King is a lot more powerful than we expect because I think that he maybe in his former life or maybe when he was changed by the forest people, I think they also gave him the power of the three-eyed raven because or maybe before he was turned, he was already a powerful ward because when Bran is searching and trying to find him, he's able to see Bran flawlessly. And I think that he sent the Night King, I think that he sent that polar bear to go after Thoros because Thoros can't bring anybody back if he's dead. So Thoros is not quite dead yet. He's just severely wounded by the polar bear. So anyway, the guys get him up and then they start traveling on. They finally find a White Walker. They capture this White Walker and I'm just like, well, okay, it's time to go back home. No, this White Walker screams and his screams alerts all the other White Walkers. You know that the White Walker army is huge. So they come tearing down like over the mountain and they surround the guys and they're going after them. But because they are surrounding the guys on the lake, the ice starts to break and they start to fall into the water. The men are fully surrounded. Jon sends Gendry back and he's just like, I need you to get back to the wall and I need you to send a raven to Daenerys because we need help. So the dudes are like fighting. This was the best scene of the night, y'all. The dudes are like fighting off of these White Walkers and they're surrounding them, but then like the water is consuming them, so they're finally stuck, right? Until the Hound makes the dumbest decision of the night. So now we're at a standoff, and it feels like the guys have been there forever because there's like icicles forming on their beard, and then you look over and you see that Thoros has passed away. His body is like frozen in ice, and there's just this emotional moment, but the men can't really process that because they're surrounded by the White Walkers, and the Night King is like looking at the Night King, and his generals are like looking at them and not doing anything. So I don't know why they never attacked them, because the Night King is so powerful. I don't know why he just sat there and watched them. Anyway, maybe he wanted them to freeze to death because the cold doesn't affect any of them. I guess the Hound is bored, so he decides to start throwing rocks at the White Walkers, I guess to kill time until Daenerys gets there. And he's throwing the rocks at them, and it's breaking off their jaws or whatever, and he's kind of tormenting them. And then he throws the rock, and I guess they've been there so long, the lake has now, or the ocean or wherever, has now frozen over because he throws the rock and it lands on solid ground. That lets the White Walker know that the water has now frozen over, so now they can walk over. So all of a sudden, they all start coming after them now. And then we get another epic battle scene. Guys, it was so dope. Like the dudes are just fighting back and forth. Jorah is like taking heads off. The Hound is just like severing these zombies. Jon, our boy, is killing them. But then Tormund, he gets a little caught up and he almost dies. And I was just like, we cannot have him die, because I need for him and Brienne of Tarth to get together. Like, I don't know if it's going to happen, but in my mind it happens, and I need for it to happen. So the fact that he didn't die, I had hope. So anyway, they're fighting and they're going back and forth, and it seems like they're going to lose. And out of nowhere, our girl Daenerys comes over, and she's flying on Dracarys, and she calls out his name, and Dracarys lets out a flame, and he starts taking out this White Walker army. I'm telling you guys, it was so dope. I was standing up, I was cheering, I had so many emotions. That was such an epic scene for me. Like, I got my whole life. So Daenerys and Dracarys are just taking out these White Walkers, and she gathers up all the men. But for some reason, Jon won't get on Dracarys. And it's not like he's surrounded in a way where he can't take off running and just hop on Dracarys. He keeps on running back and fighting people. So I don't know, maybe Jon just got caught up in the battle, but Daenerys is sitting there on Dracarys waiting for him. And while she's waiting, she's looking, oh, I'm about to cry. I'm too invested in this show. While she's waiting, she's looking at Jon, and she's like waiting for him to finally get on Dracarys. The Night King, that devil, takes this ice javelin and launches it through the chest of Viserion, and our baby just starts screaming because he's still a baby. He just starts screaming and yelling, and he falls from the sky, and he falls into the water dead. Like, he's dead before he even hits the ice lake. When he starts falling and screaming, Dracarys starts screaming. Dany is having a whole kind of like fit. She just gets like, she's to the point where she can't risk losing any more of her children. She takes off and leaves Jon. Jon is sitting there. I don't even think he realizes that they left. He's sitting there fighting to the end. He's fighting so much that he doesn't realize he's about to fall into the lake. The White Walkers take him, like pull him into the lake. Our boy is still fighting while about to die. So, like me, you think that Jon is dead. However, this dude gets out of the ice water, stands, like balances himself with his knife and lifts it up because he's ready to fight. Like, he's ready for battle. He's not fit to battle, but it's Jon. Like, Jon is a true soldier. Thankfully, I forget the name of his uncle. He saves him. His uncle is like not quite dead. He's like kind of White Walker, but still human. Whatever. He saves him, and he puts Jon on his horse, and he's just like, get out of here. So he sends Jon to the wall while he's fighting. So Jon gets to the wall. He's able to be saved. He's in his room like recovering. Then Dany comes in when she realizes that he's alive. She comes in, and before she can say anything, he's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He feels so bad. She's just like, no, I needed to see it. She's ready for war because the Night King just killed her baby, and she's just like, these are my children. I'm not having any more. He just took out my child. I will fight with you. We are going to take them down together. And Jon is like, yes, we are, my queen. And then she starts tearing up, he starts tearing up, I'm bawling because I'm distraught, but then I'm just like, oh my gosh, he kind of bent the knee. It was just a really emotional but great scene and great episode. And also, they kind of have like this weird moment, and I don't know how to read it. I guess maybe I'm reading it correctly, but I kind of don't want to read it like that, because Khaleesi is Jon's aunt. I don't know. I felt like they had like an intimate moment, or maybe she was kind of falling for him in that moment, and maybe he was falling for her. I don't know what happened there, but if you know what that moment was, please let me know in the comment section below. Either I'm right or I'm reading into something way too deeply. And then we get to the saddest scene of the night. We cut back to the Night King, who has like his army with these huge chains, and they're pulling something out of the water. I already know who they're pulling out of the water. They pull out my baby Viserion, and they pull him like halfway out, and he's like laying there. And then the Night King walks over to him, and he puts that evil hand on our baby's head, and his eyes open up, and they're ice blue. So, I'm heartbroken, right? And I'm upset. However, I got a feeling in my bones that the season finale is going to be lit. We got an ice dragon. What the hell? So that's where it ends. And if you've been following my reviews, you know I like to end my review or recap with some questions and predictions. I predict that Daenerys and Jorah are going to get together, because we all know that Jorah is in love with Dany, but lately she's been giving him this vibe that she's warming up to the idea of being with him. Like, I feel like she's falling in love with him. I really do. And I think that there's something, I feel like something's happening with her and Jon, but I feel like with her and Jorah, there's some real love. So I see those two getting together. If not this season, I do see something happening with them the following season. The final season. Damn! Why, guys? Keep it going. I also think that Jaime is going to, like I said before, I think that he's going to slaughter Cersei. But now that Cersei is pregnant with their child, I think that he's going to wait until she gives birth to kill her, because he wants the baby to maybe carry on the legacy of her. But I think he's going to take Cersei out, because Cersei is like demented at this point, and Jaime, he loves her but he doesn't trust her, and I feel like he feels like she's just not right, and I think he will probably kill her out of respect and love for her. I also think that the Hound will take the place of Thoros, Top-Knot. I think that he has been chosen by the Lord of Light. That's why he's able to see so deeply into the fire. And also, that's probably why he's not able to die. Like, the Hound has been in so many situations where he should be dead at this point, but he's not. And I think that's because he's going to take the place of Thoros. Like, he has that gift to bring people back to life through the Lord of Light. I think I'm right about that one. Final prediction and kind of a theory. I think that Jon, being as though he's Targaryen, I think he has like some opposite kind of power or inability to die through this kind of source. I think that cold is to Jon, or cold or ice is to Jon what fire is to Daenerys. Because if you think about it, the Red Witch didn't bring him back. I don't think she brought him back. I think the fact that Jon... Hold on. I feel like I just walked onto something. Okay, I think the fact that Jon, when he was stabbed, he died, or he was passing away in the snow. And I think that that cold or whatever engulfed him and like kind of saved him and preserved his body until it got to this full strength where it was able to come back to life. And I think the Red Witch thinks that she did that, but I don't think that she did that. I think that it was the cold that saved Jon. And what just happened to me when I was saying his name, I was saying his name and I was thinking about the snow. Jon Snow, mother of dragons. Like, that is his power. The snow, the ice, the cold. That is why Jon didn't die when he was pulled into the freezing ice waters by the White Walker. I really feel like ice or cold or snow is his power. I'm telling you, the more I talk things out, I just stumble upon things. Go ahead, Nikki. So now here are my questions. Why in the hell did Jon and his merry band of misfits go to fight the freaking White Walkers and the Night King without dragonglass? Like, he knew that they could die from dragonglass. Did they not have enough time? I just felt like it was so careless to go there without any kind of dragonglass. I mean, they did have Valyrian steel, but wasn't Jon the only one with Valyrian steel? So now that Viserion is like an undead dragon for the Night King, is he going to breathe icicles instead of fire? Because that would be dope. Anyway, those are my theories, predictions, and questions. Please, if you know the answers to any of the questions that I gave in this review, please put them down in the comment section below. Also, let me hear your theories. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with my theories or predictions? Please let me know in the comment section below. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to review the other episodes. I had a really busy week. My family was in town. I was working with my sister's nonprofit organization, and I was dealing with some YouTube issues happening, but thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for watching, and if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you for the season finale of Game of Thrones. Bye, guys.